everyone. Today I am going to discuss the topic Globe Latitude and Longitude. Through this module you will be able to understand this chapter. After this module your all doubts will be clear. First we will know the define of geoid. Slightly flattened at both poles and bulges at the equator. The bulge is due to the centrifugal force caused by rotation. Globes serve purposes similar to some maps, but unlike maps, do not distort the surface that they portray except to scale it down. Globe. A globe is a spherical model of Earth. So this was the define of globe. Earth's axis, which is an imaginary line that passes through the center of the Earth on which the Earth rotates. It is tilted at 23.50. The north end of the axis is known as the North Pole. The south end of the axis is known as the South Pole. Places on the Earth are located by means of two sets of lines drawn on a globe or a map, latitudes and longitudes. These are imaginary lines which do not actually exist on the surface of the Earth to study locations. Now we will move forward about latitudes. It is angular distance of a place north or south of the equator. The equator is an imaginary line perpendicular to this axis. It is equidistant from the north and south poles and divides the globe into northern and the southern hemisphere. The equator represents the 0-degree latitude. The distance from equator to either of the poles in one-fourth of a circle round the Earth. It will measure one-fourth of 360 degrees. Example 90 degree. 90 degrees north latitude marks the North Pole and 90 degrees south latitude marks the South Pole. All parallels north of the equator are called north latitudes. Similarly, all the south of the equator are called south latitudes. The value of each latitude is indicated by the letter N or S. There are total 180 latitudes excluding equator. The distance between latitudes remains same. Example 111 kilometers. Five major parallels of latitudes are the equator 0 degree, the Tropic of Cancer 23.5 degree north in the northern hemisphere, Tropic of Capricorn 23.5 degrees south in the southern hemisphere, Arctic Circle at 66.5 degrees north of the equator, Antarctic Circle at 66.5 degrees south of the equator. The Arctic Circle is the latitude 66.5 north. All locations falling north is to of this latitude are said to be in the Arctic Circle. The Antarctic Circle, on the other hand, is latitude 66.5 degrees south. Any location falling south of the latitude are said to be in the Antarctic Circle. The latitude 23.1 half 12 north is also known as the Tropic of Cancer. The Tropic of Capricorn is latitude that lies at 23 degrees and the half south of the equator. Heat zones of the Earth. There are main three, but first we will know about torrid zone. The midday sun is exactly overhead at least once a year on all latitudes in between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. This area therefore receives the maximum heat and is called the torrid zone. Temperate zone. The midday sun never shines overhead on any latitude beyond the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. This angle of the sun's rays goes on decreasing towards the poles. As such, the areas were bounded by the Tropic of Cancer and the Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere and the Tropic of Capricorn and the Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere have moderate temperatures. These are called temperate zones. Now we will know about frigid zones. Areas lying between the Arctic Circle and the North Pole is the northern hemisphere, and the Antarctic Circle and the South Pole is the southern hemisphere, are very cold. It is because here the sun does not rise much above the horizon. Therefore, its rays are always slanting and provide less heat. These are called frigid zones. Longitudes. It is the angular distance of a place on the surface of the earth measured in degrees east or west in the prime meridian. Distance of the longitudes are measured from the center of the earth. These lines are drawn up around the earth from the north pole to the south pole. Meridians are semicircles. There are 360 meridians in all, 180 to the east and 180 to the west of 0 degree prime meridian. Each line of the longitude has a time when it comes directly under midday sun. It is called a meridian of longitude. So it refers to the path of the midday sun. Prime meridian. All countries of the world have agreed on the central line of their longitude passing through Greenwich in England as the 0 degree meridian, also called as Greenwich meridian. To measure equal distance from the meridians, prime meridians, the lines are drawn at an angular distance of 1 degree on the both sides. The 0 degree and 180 degree makes a complete circle, the great circle, which divides the earth into two equal halves, the eastern hemisphere and the western hemisphere. The great circles of the earth. The circle which divides the globe into two equal spheres is called as the great circle. Two great circles are the equator and the combination of 0 degree meridian and 180 degree meridian. Each hemisphere is labeled with its direction. Example: north, eastern, western, and south hemisphere. Locating places on the earth. Parallels of latitude and the meridians of longitude together form a network of lines on the globe or map called grid. The points of the intersection are at right angles and pinpoint the exact location of a place. Each latitude and longitude meet at only one point. We can locate any place with its location on the Earth's grid. Longitude and time. A longitude helps us to find out the time of a place. Earth rotates from west to east in an anti-clockwise direction. Places in east have sunrise earlier than those in west. Time varies from one place to another. Local time. All meridians to the east and west will have their own local time. A system of time zones has been adopted in 1884 to avoid the confusion of frequent changes of time when moving from one place to another. By international agreement, the world is divided into 24 time zones or belts. Each time zone covers 15 degrees of longitude. The prime meridian, passing through the Royal Observatory Greenwich near London, is used as the starting point. The local time here is known as the Greenwich Mean Time or GMT. We know use of the coordinated universal time, which is time standard as the basis for digital timekeeping across the time zones worldwide. UTC approximate the GMT. Standard time. Most countries have selected a central meridian as the standard meridian to avoid confusion in keeping time over different parts of the country. The local time of that standard meridian becomes the standard time of for that country. Large countries that cover may use many time zones have they more than one standard meridian. Example: Canada, USA, and Russia. The 82 and 30-degree east longitude, which runs almost through the center of the country near Allahabad. The local time here is called the Indian Standard Time or IST, is about 5 hours and 30 minutes ahead of. Coordinated Universal Time (UTC) and GMT. Thank you. Subscribe, like and share.